Hollywood's brightest stars, dazzling on red carpets, captivating millions with their talent. But for some, the spotlight hid dark secrets, crimes that led to handcuffs, courtrooms, and years behind bars. These aren't scripted movie scenes. They're real-life stories of downfall, from violent assaults to sprawling fraud schemes. In this video, we're diving into the lives of 21 Hollywood icons whose crimes shocked the world and landed them long prison sentences. Not just fleeting arrests or minor penalties, but serious time in federal facilities. Some of these names will leave you stunned, their crimes concealed for years behind fame and fortune. Stick with us until the end, because number 20 is a story so wild it almost defies belief. Let's begin. Tim Allen. In 1978, long before Tim Allen became the lovable Tim, the Tool Man, Taylor on Home Improvement, or the voice of Buzz Lightyear in Toy Story, he faced a life-altering moment at Kalamazoo Battle Creek International Airport in Michigan. At just 25, Allen, then known as Timothy Allen Dick, was arrested with over 650 grams of cocaine, a staggering 1.4 pounds, stashed in his luggage. The charge was drug trafficking, and under Michigan's newly passed 650 lifer law, he faced life imprisonment without parole. The stakes couldn't have been higher. Desperate to avoid a lifetime behind bars, Allen made a pivotal decision. He pleaded guilty to felony drug trafficking and cooperated with authorities, providing names of other dealers. His information led to the indictment of 20 individuals, including 4 major drug traffickers. This cooperation shifted his case to federal court, bypassing Michigan's harsh state law. Instead of life, he received a sentence of 3 to 7 years. Allen served 2 years and 4 months at the Federal Correctional Institution in Sandstone, Minnesota, before his parole in 1981. Reflecting on his time in prison, Allen later described it as a humbling experience that forced him to rethink his life. He began performing stand-up comedy during parole, a choice that sparked his remarkable rise to Hollywood stardom. From a convicted trafficker to a beloved sitcom dad, Allen's journey shows how one moment can redirect a life. Danny Trejo. Before Danny Trejo became the iconic Machete in Robert Rodriguez's films, his life was a cycle of crime and incarceration. Born in 1944 in Los Angeles, Trejo's troubled youth led to heroin addiction by age 12 and armed robberies with his uncle. By 18, he was imprisoned for stabbing a man, and in 1965, he faced a 10-year sentence at San Quentin State Prison for selling drugs to an undercover agent. His time in San Quentin, Folsom, and Soledad was marked by violence, including a 1968 riot where he struck a guard, narrowly escaping the death penalty. Yet, prison sparked Trejo's transformation. He honed his boxing skills, becoming lightweight and welterweight champion, which kept him alive in the brutal prison yards. Embracing sobriety through a 12-step program, he vowed to change. In 1985, while counseling a recovering addict on the set of Runaway Train, Trejo's prison tattoos and boxing prowess landed him a role as an extra, launching his acting career. From a convicted felon to a Hollywood legend with over 400 roles, Trejo's mythic redemption through resilience and purpose inspires millions. Robert Downey Jr. Before Robert Downey Jr. became the iconic Tony Stark in Iron Man, his life was a turbulent spiral of addiction and legal battles. In 1996, the Oscar-nominated actor was arrested in Malibu after police found heroin, cocaine, and an unloaded .357 Magnum in his car during a traffic stop for speeding. This marked the start of multiple arrests through the late 1990s, including a bizarre incident where he wandered into a neighbor's home and passed out in their child's bedroom. Placed on probation with mandatory drug testing, Downey repeatedly violated terms by missing tests. In 1999, an exasperated judge sentenced him to 3 years at the California Substance Abuse Treatment Facility and State Prison in Corcoran. He served 15 months before early release in 2000 after posting $5,000 bail. Downey described prison as a harrowing experience, yet it forced introspection. While in a cell, he began confronting his addiction, which started at age 8 due to his father's influence. This reflection laid the foundation for his 2003 sobriety and eventual rise to Marvel stardom. Downey's redemption from rock bottom to global icon is remarkable. Mark Wahlberg. Before Mark Wahlberg starred in The Departed or Ted, his teenage years in Boston's Dorchester neighborhood were marked by violence. At 16, in April 1988, Wahlberg, high on PCP, attacked two Vietnamese men, Than Lam and Johnny Trien, in separate incidents while attempting to steal beer. He struck Lam unconscious with a 5-foot wooden stick, shouting racial slurs, and later punched Trien in the face, initially believing he caused Trien's blindness. Trien later clarified he lost his eye in the Vietnam War. Charged with attempted murder, Wahlberg pleaded guilty to felony assault, violating a 1986 civil rights injunction for harassing black children. Sentenced to 2 years at Suffolk County Deer Island House of Correction, he served only 45 days. In prison, Wahlberg confronted his reckless path, later citing this as a turning point. He pursued music as Marky Mark, then acting, earning an Oscar nomination for The Departed. His 2014 pardon attempt sparked debate, with Trien forgiving him, but others, like victim Kristen Atwood, opposing it. Wahlberg's controversial past remains a quiet shadow over his stardom. Wesley Snipes. Wesley Snipes, renowned for his role as Blade in the Blade trilogy, faced a dramatic fall when convicted of tax evasion. In 2008, a Florida jury found him guilty on 3 misdemeanor counts of willfully failing to file federal income tax returns from 1999 to 2001, during which he earned over $37 million. Snipes, influenced by advisors promoting the 861 argument that domestic income was not taxable, also sought fraudulent refunds exceeding $11 million for 1996 and 1997. Though acquitted of felony fraud and conspiracy charges, he received a maximum 3-year sentence at McKean Federal Correctional Institution in Pennsylvania, starting December 2010. He served 28 months, followed by house arrest until July 2013. Snipes later expressed regret, acknowledging he chose his accountant and lawyer, accepting responsibility for their misleading advice. Prison, he said, clarified his values and purpose, teaching him the value of time away from his family. After release, Snipes resumed acting, notably reprising Blade in Deadpool and Wolverine in 2024. His journey from tax evasion to redemption mirrors the resilience of others we've discussed. Felicity Huffman. Felicity Huffman, celebrated for Desperate Housewives, became a central figure in the 2019 Operation Varsity Blues college admissions scandal. In 2017, she paid $15,000 to consultant William Rick Singer to have a proctor falsify her daughter Sophia's SAT score, boosting it by 400 points to 1420. Unaware of the scheme, Sophia faced rejection from colleges when the scandal broke. Huffman pleaded guilty to conspiracy to commit mail fraud and honest services fraud in May 2019. In September, a Boston federal judge sentenced her to 14 days at the Federal Correctional Institution in Dublin, California, a $30,000 fine, 250 hours of community service, and 1 year of probation. She served 11 days, released early due to a weekend policy. Huffman expressed deep shame, apologizing to students and families who pursue college honestly. The public fallout was immense, with her arrest at gunpoint traumatizing her family. Her redemption began through community service at A New Way of Life, a nonprofit aiding formerly incarcerated women, where she now serves on the board. Huffman's brief sentence carried lasting consequences, echoing the redemption arcs we've explored. Loughlin. Lori Loughlin, beloved as Aunt Becky on Full House, became a headline in the 2019 Operation Varsity Blues college admissions scandal alongside her husband, Mossimo Giannulli. They paid $500,000 to William Rick Singer to falsely designate their daughters, Olivia Jade and Isabella Rose, as USC crew team recruits, despite neither participating in rowing. Charged with conspiracy to commit wire and mail fraud, Loughlin initially pleaded not guilty but accepted a plea deal in May 2020. In August, a Boston federal judge sentenced her to 2 months at the Federal Correctional Institution in Dublin, California, a $150,000 fine, and 100 hours of community service. She served her full term. Released in December 2020, Loughlin expressed deep remorse, admitting she ignored her moral compass, believing she acted out of love. The scandal shattered her wholesome image, costing her Hallmark roles and sparking public backlash. Her daughters faced scrutiny, with Olivia Jade losing brand deals. Loughlin's later charity work, funding college for 2 students, reflects her redemption efforts. Once a family TV icon, her legacy now carries this stain. Spector. Phil Spector, the genius behind the wall of sound production technique, revolutionized music in the 1960s, shaping hits for the Beatles, the Ronettes, and Tina Turner. His brilliance, however, was overshadowed by a violent act. On February 3, 2003, actress Lana Clarkson, known for Barbarian Queen, was found dead in Spector's Alhambra, California mansion, shot through the mouth. Spector, then 63, met Clarkson hours earlier at the House of Blues, where she worked as a hostess. His driver, Adriano de Souza, testified hearing a gunshot and Spector saying, "I think I killed somebody." Spector claimed it was an accidental suicide. In 2007, his first trial ended in a mistrial due to a hung jury. Retried in 2008, Spector was convicted of second-degree murder in April 2009. On May 29th, he received 19 years to life, serving at California's Corcoran State Prison. His history of threatening women with guns bolstered the prosecution's case. Spector died in prison on January 16, 2021, from COVID-19 complications, aged 81. His legacy remains a paradox of musical innovation and tragedy. Suge Knight. Marion Suge Knight, co-founder of Death Row Records, was a towering figure in 1990s gangsta rap, launching icons like Dr. Dre, Snoop Dogg, and Tupac Shakur. His fearsome reputation, tied to his mob Piru Bloods affiliation, was marred by a long criminal history, including felony convictions for armed robbery and assault. In 1997, he served 9 years for a probation violation after attacking a rival with Tupac. Released in 2001, Knight's troubles persisted, with a 2003 parole violation landing him 10 months. His downfall came on January 29, 2015, outside Tam's Burgers in Compton. Upset over his portrayal in the Straight Outta Compton biopic, Knight confronted Clay "Bone" Sloan, a film consultant. Surveillance footage captured Knight's Ford F-150 Raptor, backing over Sloan, injuring him, then fatally striking businessman Terry Carter, who died. Knight, claiming self-defense, fled but surrendered the next day. In September 2018, he pleaded no contest to voluntary manslaughter. His prior felonies triggered California's three strikes law, leading to a 28-year sentence, with 22 years for manslaughter and 6 for the third strike, at Richard J. Donovan Correctional Facility. Once a feared music mogul, Knight's legacy now rests behind bars. Michael Jace. Michael Jace, known for portraying LAPD Officer Julian Lowe in The Shield, stunned fans when his life mirrored the violence of his on-screen world. On May 19, 2014, at their Hyde Park home in Los Angeles, Jace, 53, fatally shot his wife, April Jace, a financial aid counselor at Biola University. Upset over her divorce request and believing she was unfaithful, Jace shot April once in the back, then twice in the legs, as their sons, aged 8 and 5, watched. Their 10-year-old later testified, hearing Jace say, "If you like running, run to heaven," referencing April's love of running. Jace called 911, admitting the act. Convicted of second-degree murder, in May 2016, he received 40 years to life on June 10th, with 15 years for murder and 25 for firearm use. Jace, who faced financial strain after defaulting on a $411,000 mortgage, apologized in court, insisting the act was not premeditated. April's mother, Kay Henry, left the courtroom, devastated. Jace's crime shocked fans of his heroic persona. Lane Garrison. Lane Garrison, known for playing David Tweener Apolskis in Prison Break, saw his life eerily mirror his on-screen role as an inmate. On December 2, 2006, the 26-year-old actor, after meeting 3 teens at a Beverly Hills grocery store, drove them to a party in his 2001 Land Rover. Under the influence of cocaine and with a blood alcohol level of 0.20%, twice California's legal limit, Garrison crashed into a tree. The accident killed 17-year-old Vahagan Sityan, a Beverly Hills High student, and injured 2 15-year-old girls, one critically. Garrison pleaded guilty in May 2007 to vehicular manslaughter, driving under the influence, and providing alcohol to a minor. On October 31, 2007, a Beverly Hills judge sentenced him to 3 years and 4 months at California's Golden State Modified Community Correctional Facility. Garrison served 22 months, released in April 2009, and settled civil lawsuits with the victims' families. His emotional anti-DUI public service announcement reflected genuine remorse, but Sechen's father, Karen, called his actions reckless. Garrison's career faltered, with roles in Shooter and From Dusk Till Dawn, the series failing to restore his fame. Tom Sizemore, celebrated for his intense roles as Sergeant Mike Horvath in Saving Private Ryan and Michael Cheritto in Heat, was once poised to rival Robert De Niro. Born in Detroit, his gritty performances in Natural Born Killers and Black Hawk Down earned him acclaim, but his personal struggles derailed his ascent. Battling heroin and methamphetamine addiction since his teens, Sizemore faced multiple arrests. In 2003, he was convicted of domestic violence against ex-girlfriend Heidi Fleiss, accused of punching her and making threatening calls. Sentenced to 6 months in jail and rehab, he served his term at Los Angeles County Jail. In 2005, Sizemore violated probation by failing drug tests, even attempting to use a prosthetic device to fake results, leading to 7 months in Chino State Prison. In 2007, arrested for methamphetamine possession in Bakersfield, he received a 16-month sentence, serving 9 months. His 2013 memoir, By Some Miracle I Made It Out of There, detailed his regret, citing interventions by De Niro and Steven Spielberg, who mandated daily drug tests during Saving Private Ryan. Chris Brown, the Grammy-winning R&B star behind FAME, faced infamy after a violent assault on his then-girlfriend Rihanna on February 8, 2009. Hours before their Grammy Awards performance, an argument in a rented Lamborghini in Hollywood escalated. Brown punched, choked, and bit Rihanna, leaving her with severe facial bruises and requiring hospitalization. He turned himself in, pleading guilty to felony assault in June 2009. On August 25th, a Los Angeles judge sentenced him to 5 years probation, 1,400 hours of community service, and a year of domestic violence counseling, with a 5-year restraining order to stay 50 yards from Rihanna, except at industry events. Brown's probation was marred by violations. In 2013, he was accused of a hit-and-run and assaulting a man in Washington, D.C., leading to a 2014 probation violation hearing. On May 9, 2014, after admitting to the D.C. misdemeanor assault, he was sentenced to 365 days in Los Angeles County Jail, serving 131 days after credit for time in rehab and good behavior, released on June 2nd. His criminal history, including later allegations of violence, continues to shadow his career. O.J. Simpson. O.J. Simpson, the NFL Hall of Famer and actor known for The Naked Gun, became infamous after his 1995 acquittal in the murders of his ex-wife, Nicole Brown Simpson, and Ron Goldman. The Los Angeles trial, dubbed the Trial of the Century, captivated the world with its racial divides and defense claims of police misconduct. Yet a 1997 civil trial found him liable, ordering $33.5 million in damages. On September 13, 2007, Simpson's life took another turn in Las Vegas. Leading a group into the Palace Station Hotel, he confronted memorabilia dealers Bruce Fromong and Alfred Beardsley, claiming they had stolen his property. His accomplice, Michael McClinton, brandished a gun, and the group stole items, including those tied to his 1995 trial. Arrested 3 days later, Simpson was convicted on October 3, 2008, exactly 13 years after his murder acquittal on 12 charges, including armed robbery and kidnapping. Sentenced to 33 years at Lovelock Correctional Center, with a minimum of 9 years, he served nearly 9 years before parole on October 1, 2017. Simpson, who died of cancer in 2024, remained polarizing, with supporters like Fromong advocating for his parole, while Goldman's family saw his release as a denial of justice. Simpson's crimes cast a long shadow. Coolio, born artist Leon Ivy Jr., rose to fame with his 1995 Grammy-winning hit Gangsta's Paradise, reshaping hip-hop's global reach. His life, however, was scarred by legal troubles. As a teen in Compton, he served jail time for larceny after taking a weapon to school. Addiction to crack cocaine in the 1980s led to further arrests, including a 2001 felony for carrying a concealed weapon and a 2009 cocaine possession charge at Los Angeles International Airport, where he resisted arrest. In 2016, Coolio faced another felony when a stolen loaded pistol was found in his backpack at LAX on September 17th. Pleading guilty to carrying a concealed weapon, he avoided prison, receiving 3 years probation and 45 days of community service. Coolio called the incident a misunderstanding, expressing remorse. His later years were marked by struggles, including a 1998 conviction in Germany for accessory to robbery and causing bodily injury. He died on September 28, 2022, at 59, from an accidental overdose of fentanyl, heroin, and methamphetamine, DMX. Earl Simmons, known as DMX, was a rap icon whose raw energy in hits like X Gon, Give It To Ye, and Party Up defined late 1990s hip-hop. His roles in Belly and Romeo Must Die showcased his charisma, but his life was marred by over 30 arrests. From a troubled childhood in Yonkers, marked by abuse and early crack addiction at 14, DMX faced charges for drug possession, weapons violations, animal cruelty, and reckless driving. Felony convictions in Arizona led to jail time, including a 15-day sentence in 2001 for driving offenses and 7 months in 2010 for probation violations. In 2017, DMX was arrested for a multi-year tax evasion scheme, concealing $1.7 million in income from 2002 to 2005 and 2010 to 2015. Pleading guilty to 1 count of tax fraud in November 2017, he was sentenced on March 28, 2018, to 1 year in Gilmer Federal Correctional Institution, West Virginia, plus $2.29 million in restitution. Released in January 2019, DMX battled ongoing addiction. On April 9, 2021, he died at 50 from a heart attack triggered by a cocaine overdose. DMX's brilliance was overshadowed by personal struggles. T.I. Clifford Harris. Clifford Harris Jr., known as T.I., pioneered trap music with hits like Rubber Band Man and starred in American Gangster. His Atlanta roots were overshadowed by legal troubles. On October 13, 2007, hours before the BET Hip Hop Awards, federal agents arrested him in a Midtown parking lot for attempting to buy 3 unregistered machine guns and 2 silencers from undercover ATF agents. As a convicted felon from a 1998 cocaine distribution charge, Harris was barred from owning firearms. His bodyguard, turned informant, facilitated the sting, delivering the weapons for $12,000. Agents found 3 guns in his car and 6 at his College Park home. On March 27, 2009, Harris pleaded guilty to federal weapons charges, receiving 1 year and 1 day at Forest City Federal Facility, Arkansas, serving 10 months from May 2009, followed by a halfway house. A 2010 drug arrest in Los Angeles involving ecstasy and opiates violated his probation, leading to an 11-month sentence in 2011 at Forest City. Released in August 2011, Harris transformed his image, completing 1,500 hours of community service, mentoring at-risk youth, and advocating for police reform and Atlanta's underserved communities. Like DMX's struggles, T.I.'s crimes marred his legacy, but his activism reflects redemption. Remy Ma. Remy Ma, born Reminisce Smith, was a rising star in hip-hop, known for her Grammy-nominated role in Terror Squad's Lean Back. Her fierce lyricism promised a bright future, but a 2007 incident derailed her ascent. On July 14th, outside Manhattan's Pizza Bar, Remy accused friend Makita Barnes-Joseph of stealing $3,000 from her purse. During a confrontation in Barnes-Joseph's car, Remy fired a .45 caliber handgun, shooting her in the abdomen. Barnes-Joseph required multiple surgeries. Remy, claiming the shooting was accidental, pleaded not guilty but was convicted on March 27, 2008, of assault, weapons possession, and attempted coercion. On May 13th, she received an 8-year sentence at Bedford Hills Correctional Facility, serving 6 years until her release on August 1st, 2014. While incarcerated, Remy released mixtapes like Jesus Christ. Post-release, she joined Love and Hip Hop, New York, and collaborated with Fat Joe on the Grammy-nominated All the Way Up. Like T.I.'s redemption through activism, Remy advocated for criminal justice reform, reflecting on prison's toll. Her comeback showcases resilience. Wesley Willis. Wesley Willis, a Chicago cult musician known for rock and roll McDonald's, blended raw punk energy with bizarre lyrics. Shaped by his 1989 schizophrenia diagnosis, his Technics KN keyboard-backed songs, often about demons or superheroes, earned him a 1990s underground following. On August 31st, 1991, while riding a bus in Chicago's South Side, Willis was attacked by John Dillard, who slashed his face with a box cutter. In a rare violent outburst, Willis later retaliated, leading to a brief jail stint for assault in 1992, though exact sentencing details remain scarce. Dillard received 25 years. Willis's mental health defined his art and life. His Hellride bus delusions, where demons insulted him, contrasted with his Joyride music, a therapeutic outlet. Supported by figures like Jello Biafra, Willis released over 50 albums, but critics debated if fans exploited his condition. Like Remy Ma's resilience, Willis channeled pain into creativity, yet his story ended tragically. Diagnosed with leukemia in 2002, he died on August 21, 2003 at 40, after emergency surgery for internal bleeding. His brief jail time underscores a life of struggle and triumph. Amanda Bynes. Amanda Bynes, the Nickelodeon star of All That and The Amanda Show, captivated audiences with her comedic flair in What a Girl Wants. Her post-fame spiral, however, drew headlines. On April 6, 2012, Bynes was arrested in West Hollywood for DUI after sideswiping a police cruiser in her BMW, refusing a sobriety test. That year, she faced 2 hit-and-run charges after fleeing accidents, and her license was revoked. In February 2014, she pleaded no contest to reckless driving, receiving 3 years probation and alcohol education. On May 23, 2013, New York police arrested her for marijuana possession, reckless endangerment, and tampering with evidence after she threw a bong from her 36th floor apartment window. She underwent a psychiatric evaluation at Roosevelt Hospital. Bynes' struggles led to a July 2013 involuntary psychiatric hold in Thousand Oaks after she set a small fire in a driveway. Her mother's conservatorship, granted in August 2013, ended in March 2022. Another DUI arrest on September 28, 2014, for driving under the influence of Adderall, and psychiatric holds in 2023 after psychotic episodes underscored her mental health battles. Like Wesley Willis's tragic narrative, Bynes' legal troubles reflect a life shaped by instability. Her ongoing challenges persist despite no long prison term. Next, we'll reveal our final star's shocking crime, Ezra Miller. Ezra Miller, star of The Flash and Fantastic Beasts, faced a turbulent 2022 with multiple arrests. On March 28th in Hilo, Hawaii, Miller was charged with disorderly conduct and harassment after yelling obscenities and seizing a microphone at a karaoke bar, pleading no contest and paying a $500 fine. On April 19th, they were arrested for second-degree assault after allegedly throwing a chair, injuring a woman's forehead. On August 7th, Vermont police charged Miller with felony burglary for stealing alcohol from a Stamford home. They pleaded guilty to trespassing in January 2023, avoiding jail with 1 year's probation. Court-ordered psychiatric evaluations and protective orders followed allegations of grooming and harassment. Like Amanda Bynes' mental health struggles, Miller's erratic behavior, linked to complex mental health issues, jeopardized their career. Their future in Hollywood remains uncertain. Fame doesn't shield you from consequences. In fact, for some, it makes the fall even harder. Which one of these stories shocked you the most? Drop it in the comments below. Don't forget to hit that like and share. And if you think Hollywood has more secrets waiting to be uncovered, hit that subscribe button. We're just getting started.